ready?
Next thing, yep, we're rolling.
We'll go through power down in a little bit, but power down you're going to want to, like I said, put your tool away, take the tool out of the spindle, and then go through your power down sequence. So we're just going to go through the basic screens. As I mentioned, this is your basic home screen. You hit the mode key, it takes you to here. DRO. So here you've got a reference, an override, a spindle speed. So if you wanted to turn the spindle on, you could say spindle speed of 500. Abset is your enter key. Spindle's going at 500 RPM. You got overrides here as well. So you can do a spindle speed override. And here you can override with the manual pulse generator up to 150% all the way down to 0. You can do the same with feed rate override, and you can do that while running a program as well. You find that, oh, I've programmed it's too hot, you can back it off. Return will always take you back one screen. Reference, you don't really use a ton, but you've got an absolute reference, an incremental reference. You've got your ball locks. So the way this machine is set up, it's set up to ball locks in the table. So this front left ball lock is the actual 0 position. That's machine 0. So when you set a 0 to say a corner of a part, that's a distance from that ball lock location. They've done that ball lock system just for quick changeovers. They make a subplate, aluminum subplate that you can stick under your vise, and you can just drop it on there, tighten your ball locks down, and away you go. So it's going to go to this ball lock position, and I hit go. So that's when you go to the ball lock position, that's where it's going to go. Return to absolute 0. We haven't set a 0 yet, but that would take you to your part 0. And we'll go through that in our setup process, how you set that part 0. That's really all there is. You'll find once you get in here, it's really pretty simple to run. It's just a matter of what screen you need to be in. Program edit, this is where you would go to start a program. We'll come back to here. I like to kind of go through these screens in order, but I like to come back to this one because their thought process, which isn't a bad thought process, is you would go through, you would write your program, you'd pick all your tools that you're going to use, then you go through and do your setup, because what if you decide you want to change what tool you're using, then you go and do the setup on all the tools. So it's not a bad approach. Program numbers have to be numbers, up to 8 digits. Cannot have letters in it, all has to be numbers. So if you do you know, a program number, hit abset, then go to beginning. Now here's your different program screens. You've got go to a position, so position, and in position You got drill, so you got a standard drill and you got a bolt circle. That's it, or a position. So position's going to do just that. You tell it a position you want to go to, it's going to go to that position. Drill is a standard, just a single hole drill. You don't have a pattern drill cycle, but there's ways to do that quickly and easily. And then bolt hole's just going to ask you what's the radius of the pattern and how many holes. So if you wanted to do a drill, for example, say we had a square pattern, the easiest way, you don't need to put position moves in, especially in a mill. More so in a lathe, you'd want to put positioning moves in to, say, clear out of a bore before you go to a tool change, or if you're in a deep groove or something. Just a little safety check to make sure you've cleared your part before you go to a tool change. So you're probably not going to use position a ton in milling. So if you do drill, it's going to ask right here, it's going to ask, do you want to drill, bore, or tap? We just want a standard drill, abset, the XY position of it. So let's just do 1 inch, and let's do -1 on Y. Z rapid point, so this is your clearance height. So where do you want your clearance height to be? 0.1. Where's the Z end? So this is the depth of the drill cycle. Minus 0.5, we'll say. Okay, so number of variable pecks. So here you can give it number of pecks. You notice right here there's a question mark. Anytime you see that blue question mark, that means there's more options available for that particular section. So if you hit the question mark, it's going to ask you, do you want to have variable, fixed, or chip break? So variable is just the number of pecks, so you just got to do the math in your head. If I'm going 1/2 inch deep, I want to take 1/4 inch peck, it's going to be 2 pecks. But it is total, so it's from where it's at. So I'm 100 thou above my part, so I'm really 600 thou. So if I want to do it in 2 pecks, I want it still be 2 pecks, but just keep that in mind, that extra hundred's added in there. Or you can do fixed, or chip breaks.
So on variable, is it taking the distance and dividing it in 2?
So in variable, it's just going to do number of variable pecks. So you just say, I want to do 3 pecks. And then it does the math for you and knows what, it knows that you're starting at 100 thou and it knows that you're ending at 500 thou, and it does the math and knows how deep it's going to go. That's really the one that most people use, is that one there. So let's say we're spot drilling. So that you would just tell it you want 1 peck. So it's just going to come in and just do a spot drill. An RPM, feed rate, tool number, we'll say it's 1, tool diameter. Okay, so that's 1 hole. I'm 1 inch in on my X and 1 inch down in my Y. So let's say I wanted to do a square pattern. So what you can do is go sub. So here I want to repeat, and it's going to ask for my first and my last repeat functions. So I want to repeat event 1. Last event is going to be 1 as well. So this would be how far do I want to offset in my X and how far do I want to offset in my Y. So if I just wanted to come over in my X, let's say 4 inches. So on these ones, when you're doing a repeat, you'll notice if I hit abset, it don't do anything because it's not an absolute set. It's an incremental move from where it's at.
We'll want to restart this pretty quick. switch here.
Okay?